Welcome back, everybody. I am the Jimmer, and this is how to install the tournament mod by Wootness. I use it in all of my tournaments, and it's a fantastic tool. And if you don't have it installed already, you definitely should. Even if you're not participating in the tournaments, it's really useful for testing your designs. You can spawn both entries in at the distance you want, and get a couple test runs really quickly without the hassle of loading everything in and making sure it's on enemy teams and all that sort of business. And if you're participating in the tournament, I strongly recommend downloading it and at least testing out your design in it to make sure it spawns correctly and doesn't crash into the water or do anything derpy. So the process of installing it is a little convoluted. The mod workshop from the depths, it's functional, but it's definitely not streamlined. So in all of my videos, pretty much every video, there is a link to the tournament mod. So you can go ahead and click on that, and that's going to bring you to the Steam workshop. See, I am signed in. Don't hack me, please. And right here, this will be instead of having a check mark for subscribe, it'll be a button that says subscribe, like question mark. And you have to be signed in to Steam. And you can do this through the Steam app as well. I'm just doing it in a web browser just because it was easier to get to from the video. And then you want to click on the subscribe button, and that will start the process, but it won't get the mod all the way installed. So once you are subscribed, you want to go to From the Depths, and you're going to go over here on the MISC tab, Workshop Editor Mods. You want to do that, and then you're going to go to the Modding Workshop, and then finally you have a few buttons here. You want to do Install Subscription, and then you actually have to click on the tournament mod here. You might have other mods here if you're subscribed to something else. And then over here is this button, and you click on this. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to mess up my installation. I don't think it will, but just to be safe, I'm not going to. But you're going to want to click on that, and then that's going to save the mod. So it's going to download it off Steam servers and install it into the game. But in order to get it to work, you're going to have to, after it's done, you're going to back out and quit, and then the next time you load in, you'll have it. It'll be in every map, single player, vehicle designer, and then at the bottom here you'll have tournament creator. And that should work. That's the process that I followed to get it installed. I believe that's the easiest way to do it. If there's an easier way, let me know down in the comments, and I'll pin your comments so that everybody else watching the video can do it. But that is how to start the tournament creator. Maybe I'll just kind of go over the options real quick. So that if you were just here to install it, that's how you get it installed. And now I'm just going to kind of talk about what all these are real quick. It's pretty straightforward, but just so there's no confusion. Spawn distance, this is how far apart the entries will spawn, the distance between them. Spawn gap is how close, if you have more than one entry on a team, that's how close they will be to their teammates. And then the minimum altitude is pretty straightforward. That's as low as you can go before you start picking up penalty time. Same for max altitude, highest you can go before you start picking up penalty time. Max distance is the furthest away from an enemy you can be before you start picking up penalty time. This is how much penalty time you have. Once you reach this limit, your design will be despawned immediately, just deleted from existence. It'll give a nice little nuke animation. Match time is how long in seconds the matches go. It usually pauses at the end of this time, but sometimes it glitches out and it doesn't work. If you run several matches in a row, it'll sometimes glitch out. Max design cost doesn't do any. Oh yeah, you can see right there. It currently doesn't do anything, but might be used in the future. Starting material. This is the amount of materials that each team gets to do things like repair or make ammunition, or burn in steam engines, that sort of thing. This is the starting amount, and then depending on the damage to material setting, this is, if you have it -1, then you don't get any more materials. Whatever this is set at, that's all you've got, no matter how much damage you do to yourself or others. You get this, and once it's gone, you're done. Or you're out. I shouldn't say. You don't get disqualified or anything like that. You just aren't able to repair or build ammunition or run your steam engines anymore. And you can crank this up, and what this slider does is set it to 100. If I destroy a block, then I get the entire value of that block added to my materials. And you can set this down to whatever. I believe the standard setting in From the Depths is 10%. Might be slightly lower than that. So if I destroy a beam and it's worth 100, then I get 10 materials added to my reserves. It does seem to be slightly glitchy. I don't think that's the mod. I think that's just the way FTD works. But in general, it's pretty close. And lately, I've just been running with the no setting. So what you get is what you get, and it's a little bit more straightforward that way. And then this is the despawn rules. You can change these. I almost always just leave it on the standard because that's what everybody has available. But oh, it's actually okay. I don't know how to. I can't scroll down to this last one, but you can turn, like, if it goes AI dead, standard rules AI dead, you get disqualified. But you can turn that off, and then % of blocks alive. Oh, I didn't even. This is a new one. I haven't seen this one before. So you can do % of blocks alive or % of blocks cost. So that's handy. And then, yeah, this is the penalty time. So normally you get down to 55%, and then that triggers the 2 damage, and then fairly quickly your design will be scrapped. And then if you want to do custom rules, you can turn this down or up, or however you want to do it. But I usually run, oops, that's not the right one. I usually run with just the standard rules, but there are more options available there. And then when you're spawning stuff in, this is once again pretty straightforward. You just want to pick a design, and then you have to select it over here. This is the one you want, and then these are how it's going to be spawned: facing the enemy, away from the enemy, and then left or right. And then this is the elevation. Air is about 50 meters in the air, sea is right at the water's surface, sub is 50 meters below the water, and then land is a special setting. It tries to, it only works on, I believe only works on land maps, and it tries to put your vehicle right on the surface of the land. And for me, other people have complained that it doesn't work. For me, it's worked pretty much flawlessly. So I think it might depend on like how large your vehicle is and where your origin block is. But if you're worried, if it's not working for you, go with the air option, and it'll take your vehicle a second or two to drop down on the ground, and it shouldn't cause any damage. So that one's good if you're trying to spawn on land and that's not working. And then the last 2 buttons here, you want to add to the various teams. So I can put some on team 1, you can remove them from team 1, put them on team 2, and you can, I mean, that's pretty straightforward. You should be able to see how that works. And then what's really fantastic, what I really like about the mod is you can spawn in, like you can see I have all these designs here, and how I finally came up with my final design was I would spawn them in against each other and have them fight, and then it takes, because there's always like a little bit of like randomness or luck in the battle. So I'd have them fight, and I'd do like 3 or 4 battles, and then kind of see which one was winning and why they were winning. Both these instantly disqualified themselves. I must have messed with the settings. But you can see there, and then so I'm like, okay, I can look at how the battle's progressing, and then I can restart and just run it again, and everything is all set up exactly the same way. That way you can get a bunch of test runs, and you don't have to spawn in your design and let it reload with resources, or make sure you're spawning at the right distances and all that stuff. It does that automatically for you really quickly. It's super effective. And if you use this a lot, make sure you give send Rootness a message and just say thank you, because definitely a great add-on for From the Depths. But that's it for this one. I hope that answers any questions you have. If there's anything that I missed or you still want to know, leave a comment down below, and I will get back to you if I can, if I know the answer. And if I don't, I'll let you know that too. But that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.